This is what some people call a ghost gun. It's an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle that has no serial number. It's untraceable. I didn't have to go through a background check or any sort of waiting period to get it. The government has no knowledge of its existence, in fact. And that's because, legally speaking, I didn't buy this gun. I made it. Anyone can buy every part of an AR-15 on the internet. There's one part, though, that you can't buy without a background check, and that is a functioning lower receiver, the body of the gun. What you can buy is this. This is not a lower receiver, although it looks a lot like one. To the government, this is legally just a chunk of aluminum, but to any gunsmith, it's an 80% lower. That's a lower receiver that's basically 80% finished. All you have to do is remove a few cavities of aluminum from this, and you're left with a true functioning gun.
For years, DIY gunmakers have been legally creating their own lower receivers to skirt gun control laws and build untraceable weapons. I wanted to see if new digital tools could make building one of these ghost guns easier for someone like me with little firearms or power tools experience. If I can legally make a semi-automatic rifle and circumvent all gun control, anyone can. So I tried making my AR-15 lower receiver 3 different ways, with a traditional drill press, with a 3D printer, and with a new computer-controlled milling machine called the Ghost Gunner. So first I'm going to try to do this the old-fashioned manual way. Wow, that is really not good. There's supposed to be a hole there? This is now detached from this. I don't even know, that wasn't supposed to happen. I've just made like a total mess of the inside of this thing. I don't think that this is a working firearm component by any means. So next, I used a MakerBot replicator and free plans I downloaded from the web to 3D print a plastic AR-15 lower receiver from scratch. The process was incredibly easy, but the results were somewhat flawed. I cut a finger trying to remove excess plastic. Finally, I tried what could be the future of homemade gunsmithing. The $1,500 Ghost Gunner is a computer-controlled milling machine, the latest invention of Defense Distributed, a controversial group known for releasing 3D printable blueprints for gun parts, including a fully 3D printable pistol. The Ghost Gunner doesn't print parts in plastic, though. It machines them out of aluminum, and it works on the same 80% lower as I tried with the drill press method, but requires far less equipment and skill.
I can already tell it's a lot better at this than I am.
As I watched the Ghost Gunner precisely carve away aluminum, it became clear that the barrier to legally obtaining a fully metal, untraceable, semi-automatic rifle is lower than ever before. This is the beautifully milled aluminum lower receiver for an AR-15 that we built today. Before I put actual explosive rounds through anything I'd made, I thought I should check my work with a professional. So I took my box of gun parts to Nathan Rinder at Bay Area Gunsmithing.
Please don't laugh. This is the lower that I tried to make.
With the drill?
With the drill.
Oh, I've seen worse than this.
Nathan argued that only the lower receiver I'd made with the Ghost Gunner was functional and safe.
We could totally assemble this.
He was nice enough to let me muddle through the final assembly of the AR-15 at his shop. I test-fired my homemade AR-15 for the first time at a nearby firing range. I can't take this gun with me on a flight back to New York, and I can't sell it to anyone here in San Francisco or even give it to someone else at Wired legally. So instead, I have to take it apart and either destroy or turn over to the police the lower receiver. That was the end of my Ghost Gun. But it's just the beginning for Defense Distributed's Ghost Gunner. The group has already sold more than 1,000 of its milling machines. Every one is a tiny anarchic rifle factory. And if they work as well as the one I tested, there will be many more ghost guns to come.